Hi everyone, let's go ahead and see how you can read and write Numpy array. For example, once again, we have our array A and I want to first write this array. Now you see that in the data, we don't have array. These are the previous files which we did in previous section. In this section, we are going to write this array as a Numpy array. How would you do that? There are many ways to do this. Either you can write this as a numpy array or CSV file or whatever you want. I'm gonna just say here np dot save, and in this you will get here a save. One is a save itself and save txt and save z. So there are the differences to do this. If you do the save there, then it says that you need to give here a file, a open file, then you need to give here array and then allow pickle is true. That's mean it will compress the data which you want to store the data. And first it will save the data into NPY format, a NumPy binary format. So that format you can simply save by writing np.save and the file name where you want to store and then the data. That means I want to store in the data a.npy. Alright, this is the numpy array, and here the variable which I want to store it is a. Let's go ahead and run this. I run this and here it is. Now you see that this array is there, but again this array is a compressed binary format. That's why we are not able to read this. Let's go ahead and see how you can save this array in a readable format. That you can do with np.savetxt. That's mean save this numpy array as the text data. So that I'm going to store into a data folder. I say here a.csv, and then again I pass here my array which I'm going to save there, and the delimiter I want to store these values as a comma separated values. That is the delimiter. So delimiter, that's when the separation between these two values will be a comma there. I just run that, and if I open this now, you will be seeing that it is stored as a comma separated value. So this array was actually a two-dimensional array. That is why you have here two rows. If it was a single dimensional array, then it would have been just a single row there. Since it is two-dimensional, that's why you are getting there multiple rows. But what will happen if you have a 3 or 4 dimensional array? Let's go ahead and check that. You have np.array, and in this np.array I'm going to create here a list of 2D array. That's mean A and A. Now you check this B. This become here a 3-dimensional array. You can check this with ndim as well, or you can say here b.save. This is a 3-dimensional array. Let's go ahead and save this 3-dimensional array. I say here b.csv and then here a b. I run this, but it says that here expected 1D or 2D array, but it got 3D array. So what's the problem here? Problem is in CSV file, you cannot save a 3-dimensional array. Only 1 and 2-dimensional array is allowed here. But if you want to store here a 3-dimensional array, then you need to change your method. So you need to bring this one at the top, and there I say that b.npy and b. Now this one you would be able to store, because this one is original numpy array format. But a 3-dimensional or more than 3-dimensional array you cannot store as the text file. Once these arrays are saved into a file, you can similarly read these array. For example, if I say here AA equal to np dot load txt. So I'm going to load here the text one. So there I have a data /a dot txt. Now you see there this a, wait a second, it says that data a dot txt is not found. The reason is here, I think I missed here. Okay, earlier it was saved actually the CSV, it was not the txt. So it was like this. And the delimiter I also need to define here. The delimiter is a comma. Now you see that this array got loaded into a two-dimensional array once again, what we had earlier there. In the similar fashion, you can also read a npy array, that means a numpy array, a.npy or b.npy. So it's again np.load, and then I say here data /a dot npy. Now you see that the original array it loaded here. The difference here you see, when we stored our integer data, it got converted into a float. If we store it as the text data, that means as a CSV data. But if we store it as a numpy array itself, whatever the data we wrote earlier, exactly the same data we are getting here. In the similar fashion, we can also read here a b array as well. That means b.npy. There you get something like this. b.npy, that means it is again a three-dimensional array what we had created earlier. So the same type of array we read here and we wrote the same type of array. So what's the difference between save z and save txt? You can simply put your cursor between these two braces and then press your shift and double tab. Then you will see that this says that the save several arrays into a single file in uncompressed .npz format. That means if you have A, B, C, D, so many arrays together, you can store all those arrays together in one go itself. Alright, for example, you can simply do it like this. Data a.npz, and here I pass my A array and B array. Let's go ahead and save this. Now you see there I got here this array there, and similarly you can do here np.load, and in that you can load these data. So you can simply select here load, np.load, and there I say here a data a.npz, something like this. Now you see you got here a two file. So in these two files there are actually ways to get this. For example, I say here d equal to like this, and d dot you get here the files. Alright, so these are the files which we have currently inside this. One is the array 0 and another one is the array 1. So I say here d, and then I get here the first one. So this one is first array, and similarly I say here d, and then I take here array 1, that's the second one. Now you see that here the difference. The save z can save a multiple array together irrespective of the size of those arrays. It is not necessarily that these two arrays should be the same size. That is not required here. There are two arrays. Whatever the size of those array is sufficient to get it stored as a numpy array there. Alright, this is all about in this lesson. Thanks a lot for watching this. I'll see you in next one.